actually been preparing a bunch of stuff because I'm actually gonna. I have like this like nice game collection that I'm trying to sell off, so I'm trying to like piecemeal it out to friends of mine. So been gathering a lot of that today. So far, so good. Like, oh, video games. I got a friend of mine who's like, for example, buying like $1,200 worth of stuff. I do. If anybody's interested, by the way, I do have a list.
Yeah, that's all I have.
I only have the money.
Yeah, that's all I have right now.
Interest.
Yeah.
Apparently, like I got some rare things that are worth a lot of money now, but with prices going up and Super Mario now being $1 million, why not?
Yeah.
You heard about that, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that one. It's positively ridiculous.
No, it's not. It's fucking amazing. It's great for the secondhand market, I'll say that much.
I mean, true, but at the same time, like, I consider anything probably over 1,000 to be like, oh, that's a little ridiculous. People spend money on this.
Fair enough.
But that's just me. That's me being silly and stingy.
Oh no, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine.
Wow, that message took so long to get here. Justin has been gone from his chair for like 60 seconds, and then finally the chat popped up with BRB for me.
Yeah.
Just absolutely perfect.
It's a bit slow today. So are we going in that gate today or no?
That's entirely up to you.
Everyone's lined up for it here by the looks.
This is like the third fucking portal we've been through at this point. Like, why not?
This is a bit why Gygax thinks having Gar around is a good idea. We're just gonna keep finding more of these things. We're living on Swiss cheese.
And just like, are we like closing all these portals like it's Dragon Age Inquisition?
Close, explode, is there a difference?
No.
Hey, welcome back, Justin.
Indeed.
I really like that a lot from the Inquisition. It's a bit repetitive, and normally I would hate that, but I just love just going like.
Oh yeah, it was actually pretty cool. I did like that too, because it also felt like you were making progress.
Yeah. Ah, yes, clearing a map and things not coming back to life.
Did you see Mark Dara's hour-long watch review video of the 2013 Inquisition demo?
No, I gotta watch that.
Oh, I will get you the link right now. Dara is no longer with BioWare because I told you about the shenanigans of that. But like he's been doing like game dev blogs for like half a year now. Some of them are really good. They're going into like just like his own advice and things that he's seen. And he just recently did like an hour-long watch-along and talk about a game dev demo of Inquisition that came out in 2013 at PAX, where they showed off for the first time the gameplay, the tactical cam, and some features that would eventually be removed from the game because of them shifting directions on things.
Yep.
It's fascinating. I would definitely recommend.
I mean, that happens all the time with long enough, development cycles. A lot of stuff is just going to get junked because, it just doesn't work. Like, oh, this is a good idea in Tim's machine over there, but when you try to put it with everyone else's build and script goes like, screw you, get that shit out of there, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And also the fact that they had to backtrack to put it on the 360.
Ooh, coming down even more.
Yeah, that was. I actually played original on the 360. It's the cutscenes are still giving me nightmares.
I'll check out that video later.
Oh, this video is great. Watch all his videos because it's really good insight on like being a producer and developer, and you also get like a sense of like all the crap that BioWare has to go through.
Yeah, so I'm going to put that in my queue.
Having to use I hope they still don't have to use the same engine like everybody else.
No, last I heard, they're still using
Frostbite.
Frostbite. Yeah, they're still using Frostbite.
It's horrible.
Well, the plus side now is that they actually have a foundational base, so at least it's going to be less assets used on it.
That may be the case, but it's been how long since Inquisition was released?
2014, so we're looking at almost 10 years.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't understand the idea of releasing new games for new consoles using 10-year-old engines.
No, I mean, engines are very flexible.
No, I understand that.
The problem, actually, I mean, unless you are Bethesda, who's still using an engine that was old when the 360 was new, then that's the thing, right? Because there's just
just concept crafting system on it. It'll be fine.
There are things that the chipsets simply do not understand when you put an add-on engine. But engines are designed to be flexible. The thing is that Frostbite was designed as first and foremost an FPS engine. So outside of cutscenes that are not kind of in-game, they're using game assets but not in-game, it has no place for story or, dialogue options and none of that. It's like, here's my gun, here are my enemies, I'm going to shoot them. Does that very well. You try to do something like Andromeda, Inquisition, Anthem, it just goes like,
not to mention everyone who's there who's a programmer or designer isn't meant for that design in the first place.
And the fact that there was plus the internal issues with BioWare against the other EA studios and getting a lack of attention for it because of the issues with the Frostbite engine that led to a lot of problems. This is why all three of those games this is why all three of those games have some issues with the engine. But you know what? They got to do what they got to do. So
I mean, they're not the ones. They don't write the checks. So at the end of the day, that's whoever writes the checks makes the decision.
I will maintain no matter what. At least they're not with Activision right now.
Oh God! Okay. Let's start the game because
for a while.
Yeah, no, we've been alive for a while. We don't want to bring this to no.
I am so sorry that I put the.
It's okay. I get it. It's current topic. I get it, but it's a good way to segue to our game. Hi, hello, welcome to the world of Greyhawk. In our campaign Into the Wild Coast. Although, in a few moments, depending on what the players decide, they might be somewhere else. We'll see.
We're going to.
So let's start with our wonderful set of players. Let's start from my right, which would be, well, your right, but everyone's left. This doesn't matter. With Robert. Robert, tell us about yourself.
I'm not on your right at all on my screen, but that's all right.
I'm looking at the screen from the stream.
Oh, okay. I'm playing Lael the Monk. I am contemplative and sometimes jovial, especially when I get drunk, apparently. My ideals are seeking balance within myself. I'm also trying to seek enlightenment, but both of these still elude me. And I harbor some dark vengeance within my heart that I struggle to control.
We have Justin.
I am Justin. I am playing Hugh, the druid/ranger, a lovely kobold who wishes to bring fairness and equality to everyone while becoming the greatest kobold to have ever lived.
Hi. I'm playing Paracat, the eloquence bard. Don't worry. My personality trait is I think flattery is the best way to direct attention away from me. My ideal is I like seeing the smiles on people's faces when I perform. My bond is with my instrument. It's my most treasured possession. And my flaw is that I'm struggling with the secret identity that I'm currently hiding from the rest of the party. But Lael is super suspicious for reasons.
Yeah, I'm still not sure how I'm going to approach you on that, but I'm figuring it out.
I'm all for it.
And then we have the combo of Griffin and Theta.
All right. Theta over here is playing Gar, the Turtle Necromancer. There's nothing he likes more than a good mystery. Self-improvement is his goal. The goal of a life of study is the betterment of oneself. He once sold his soul for knowledge and hopes to do great deeds to win it back, and unlocking an ancient mystery is worth the price of a civilization to him. Meanwhile, we have Kix over here. The Baron Kix even, the Battlemaster Fighter Dragonborn. He's cool and calculating personality. He believes a hero stands up against all challenges. Those under my command and responsibility come first. And I have an immense ego and delusions of grandeur.
And of course, I am your GM, Lessons, and we start on the screen that we are right now, facing the portal, as Master Gar is trying to figure out if his astronomical calculations will, in fact, unlock this portal in about 24 hours, I believe. And you're surrounded by the dead corpses of the enemies you slayed.
I take it that Gar is going to use them as reinforcements.
I do recall a lot of bone collecting last time.
I mean, if that's what he's going to do, I'm not going to pay any mind. I'm just going to rest and get ready for the fight, because we're going to get into one soon, I assume.
I think we do have plenty of time. It'll take at least until night, I think, wasn't it? Or at least when the moon's out.
Possibly. What time is it now? Is it like still daylight or?
Still daylight, yeah. The battle wasn't kind of mid-morning.
Yeah.
There's also some supplies here, not like, dry jerky and stuff like that, whatever they needed to keep themselves, jugs of water. So if you want to grab anything like that, spare weapons, that sort of thing, They didn't have they didn't have a lot of money like that, mostly copper.
Oh, the gate's not opening today. It's going to be a few days, so we got time to bunker in, everybody. This campsite's ours.
I thought that we did a bit of a time lapse of the 4 days just at the end, and we were coming to the day where
that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, and we woke up to where it was opening.
Mm-hmm. Unless somebody wanted to do something in those 4 days that was relevant.
Not particularly, other than like collecting all the supplies and things, and maybe like getting them in one area, so we have all the food in like one tent or something like that.
Yeah, he would help with like the tents and stuff, but as soon as that portal opens, he is in a position where he can run in as soon as he's told we're going. He is excited.
Are you sure you really want to go in there?
I don't know what it is. So the only way I can learn is by going.
Well, from all I've heard, no one seems to know what it is, and I'd very much like to know exactly how much danger this thing represents.
It's right now. It's raining, and it's a cold rain. But you feel as the portal activates, you see. First of all, it's daylight on the other side, still, which is weird. And also, it's sort of like a shimmer. It's like a curtain, like a purple curtain, and you can feel heat coming out of it. In fact, it's hot enough that when the cold rain hits near the portal across the front, actually, some of the rain actually evaporates.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
If I use Druidcraft, could I make a roll to try and do a prediction of how far away that weather might be if it was on this plane?
I don't know. I don't think Druidcraft would let you know.
Yeah, because Druidcraft only predicts the weather. So I was trying to sort of...
Yeah, you can predict the weather here.
Angle.
No
Cool.
But also, you don't have any experience.
Oh, completely.
So, yeah. You could do it over there once you get there, but,
Yeah, no, I'm fully aware. That is the answer I expected. It was worth asking.
Yeah. Nothing lost by asking. So the portal is active. It's dark. The moons are out, and you're about to enter.
Yep, he was just inching slowly closer.
Okay. So let's go to the map, because this one is a very interesting map.
Yep.
As you cross over, you end up in a beach. So you are down here in the corner down here. Let me put that right here. Essentially, what you see before you is you're in a white beach, right? It's sunny. It's about midday. It's hot, and there's a portal, like almost on a dais right on the beach. And then when you come out, to your left, to your right is the water. To the left is a wall of vegetation. And you hear strange sounds of birds, you think are birds or other animals. And you have no idea where you are. But it's clearly much warmer. In fact, most of you are sweating right now, except for those people who are resistant to fire.
I love this, baby. I'm a reptile.
Yeah, you're sweating bullets, for those who do sweat.
Oh, this feels nice. It was getting real cold.
So yeah, this is the island, and it's going to be, it's a big island. And as you explore, you will. Oh, that's on the side. I think of something. Congrats, you one.
Does anybody know where we are exactly?
That's a very good question. Lessons. History as a geography roll?
It's pretty high.
Can I do a nature check to see what I might look to expect as for wildlife based off of temperature and plant life?
You can make it again. It has to be very high because you guys have no personal experience. That 14, you're nowhere near where you are because by temperature and the sea, you're out to sea somewhere. Clearly, you're some kind of island.
It's hot, baby. That's all I know.
Yeah. Let me see where you are. You are.
Gar with a 30. Woo!
Gar with the actually rolling really well.
11. Plus 11.
You are south of the Sea of Gardnat. Let me see exactly where you are. Probably somewhere off the coast of what's called the Amedio Jungle, which is a jungle way to the south of the Flannis. It's almost one of those areas that is sort of at the edge of the map of the known worlds as far as the south is concerned.
We're literally on the edge of the map.
Yeah.
Taking us quite far. So, Barracat, then. What do you think is here?
Well, there's some group, whether it be people or monster or fae, whatever. Here. And my mentor is somewhere here. Other than that, I'm not quite sure.
I see. And how long will this gate stay open?
Yep, I looked to Gar.
When does it reopen?
Don't have any plans to return soon.
Well, if that's the case, perhaps we should start searching.
Yeah.
This is a very large island.
Oh,
Probably have the movie Stargate. Oh, you mean the pyramid ship's gonna come land? Oh, right.
We'll deal with the Egyptian aliens.
Do we have a clear view of this gap?
Let me just show you where you are. Give you a quick. That's one thing. The map that I should have actually let. No, in front of you. I'm showing the island so that for stability. Right, and right in front of you, it's just vegetation, right? So you don't.
Okay, so it's jungle. So it's jungle.
Jungle.
It's just jungle.
Perfect. Yeah. That clarifies.
Yeah.
In that case, the first thing Hugh is going to do is he's going to ritually cast Speak with Animals. So, if we come across something, I can get some more information.
A very colorful bird is perched in what looks like it's a very weird tree, because one of the trees sort of comes out of the jungle like that. It's bent, and you can see that the trunk, it's sort of like rings, almost as if they were scales. And then it just has a very at the top of the tree has sort of this fronds kind of crowned, and just a few what looks like some kind of large round seeds or fruits that are brown. Actually, no, these are green and almost green to blue, and they're very high. You would have to climb up to do. And this tree is sort of bent in a very odd way.
Okay, I'll just yell up at it, but speaking bird or whatever language it speaks, because it's just I automatically speak the same language when I'm talking to it. Hello.
It flies down.
I will offer up my arm and be like, I wish to converse about where we are or what we may come across. We are new here.
What are you? And when he speaks, everybody understands what it's saying. So it's not speaking; it's speaking in common.
Common.
Well,
I am a kobold.
The birds here are magic.
Wow.
What are you?
I'm like a dragon, but really little.
And it keeps repeating, "What are you? You new? What are you?" So it looks like this bird. It's more like repeating, words that I've heard, rather than. So if you can try to switch back to, to its bird tongue, I suppose, but it's trying. 100%. It's trying to converse in
bird tongue all the way.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is better, but yeah, I just want to kind of get a lay of the area, you know.
Oh, you're new.
Yep.
You don't look like. You look like a small, two-legged lizard.
Yeah, that is accurate.
Yeah, they like to eat our eggs.
Oh, I'm not doing that.
Okay.
I can make my own food.
Okay. So what are you doing here?
I'm gonna point back at my my companion Barakat and be like, "We're looking for someone kind of like him."
He looks at Barakat and looks like, huh?
Yeah.
Do we understand this, or is he speaking bird right now?
Bird.
No, he's just speaking bird.
All right, so all we hear is like squawk, squawk, squawk.
Yeah. Yep. It was not speaking common, but it was just repeating the same phrases over and over again.
Yeah, we're here looking for someone. Might be in danger. If anything, if you could point us towards, like, people, that would be cool.
Lizards to the north.
Cool.
They are, what they call, and it's squawks in common. Goblins. To the other, also north, I think.
All right, well, I assure you, we will not eat your eggs. What about animals? Who rules this area?
Lots of ugly things of late. Like ugly, scary things. Like ugly, scary things. Like giant insects.
Oh, wow.
That's pure fire.
Oh, that's crazy. Well, if you want to chill with us, as long as you're quiet whenever there's something scary around, I think that's okay.
When you say quiet, this bird just quacks very loudly, and instead of moves its feathers, and a bunch of other birds fly out. Like, no, gotta be quiet. Quiet is dangerous.
Okay.
Gotta be loud, otherwise you get eaten.
That's good to hear.
That's for me. I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of how.
Okay, we're gonna try the quiet thing, but if it doesn't work, I'll remember that.
All right. You don't have feathers. You don't fly. You might be quiet. On the ground, be quiet. On the street, be loud.
Okay. Okay. I think I'll be able to fly one day, though.
Mm-hmm. It looks like goblins. Hey, switch back to goblins.
And with that, I will bid the bird good day.
And it just
and say thank you.
Where's the other flock? There were a lot of birds, right? And these trees, these are trees. Some of them you have here on the edge, of course, you have rocks, but instead of this being grass, this is actually trees that are sort of knitted together. So yeah, it's think of it as sort of like a wall of green with some very big rocks that you can see from where you are. More like they're so together they look like they're just grass.
Got it.
From top down.
Yeah, I just turned back and then okay, so to the north there's like humanoid lizards and goblins, and there's big ugly insects that spit fire that have recently showed up.
Well,
none of those prospects sound promising, do they?
If it's goblins, then the last time we tried to interrogate those, it didn't end very well. I don't suppose our odds have changed any, have they? Bearcat, can you speak Goblin?
Nope. I only know Common.
You said big lizards, however.
Yeah.
Are we talking big lizards similar to, and I look at Kicks?
No. I haven't seen them.
Well, he said big insects that spit fire.
Oh no, but first he said lizards that ate their eggs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Suppose if there's a sizable population of kobolds, maybe that could do.
Oh no, he didn't say they looked like me.
Well, there's only one real way to find out, and I guess that's to run our heads straight into danger and see how terribly doomed we are if we do so.
Yep, if that's the case, everybody follow me. This is a new area. I know that we have a squishy person that's easy to hit. So as I'm walking by Bearcat, I'm going to smack him on the butt.
Man, I better speak to HR about this.
It's only because of my height. Like, I am not tall for a kobold. Let alone...
Well, like a little name tag, it says HR on it.
I'm 2'1". Like, I can only reach butt.
I go to Bearcat and I say, you're made of stronger stuff than you think you are.
In fact, the ocean that you're in is called.
I mean, I guess I am.
Well, the Volhone Ocean.
The whoozy what?
The Volhone Ocean. I don't know how to pronounce that. That's the name. Volhone or Volhone? I don't know.
Yeah, good enough, right?
How do you spell that?
Oh, he put it into the Twitch chat, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. God damn it.
I'm actually curious. This is more a background question. How much time has passed since Hugh has been introduced in the campaign? Because I know we've done some seasons.
At least
more like half a year because you came in spring, so late spring before the game. So.
In that case,
as long as me, so.
Q is 11.
Oh.
Ooh.
Da, 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 da.
I'm going to say that today is his birthday. He doesn't know what a birthday is. But yeah, just for fun.
That's an interesting take right there.
Either way, follow me.
Right.
And there should be a, like, when I cast Bark Skin on Barricade, there will be a noticeable shifting of what his skin looked like, but then it would just fade.
Yep. So, Hugh, you're our scout and guide, so lead the way.
And I'm going to go into the jungle.
So let's put
through this
back.
Clear path over here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to try and be as quiet as possible. Before I stealth, though, I was like, shh.
Okay. The overland travel rules are in effect. Because although there's a path, really it's everything and it's unfamiliar to you, it's considered difficult terrain. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna be using the
Hold on 1 second, I need to check something.
So basically everything.
Difficult terrain don't matter, baby. It's a forest.
No, it's a jungle. It's different.
Jungle and forests are the same type under Natural Explorer.
Yeah, they're like in a category, same way like hills and mountains are. It's like
100%.
No, they're not the same, but it's got trees.
That shouldn't be that way, but let's go with that. Let's go with that. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm not gonna try to crawl with the rules.
Simplified rules.
Yeah.
So difficult terrain shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, so
we cannot become lost.
It's 8 hours travel time per hex. And so where are you going?
Oh,
you're following the peninsula.
I am going to say that we would head that way.
Basically north?
Yeah.
You shrink this so that it doesn't, you can actually see the hexes.
Yeah, so it's 8 hours per hex?
Mm-hmm. Not counting your starting hex.
Not counting our own? Okay, so then I would probably head to here.
Yeah. If you're cutting through the jungle, it's 8 hours. If you're going through the beach, for the most part, it's 5 hours because, you're open the beach. But...
No, jungle. Hugh isn't worried about encounters. He's seen us fight. Hugh does not want to take people of Greyhawk who are not used to this weather getting beaten down by the sun on the beach for a full day.
Right. Okay. Greyhawk. For sure.
Oh yeah,
we can make like 3 hexes a day though.
Well, in 8 hours,
8 hour rest.
Like that's
assuming
if we do that, we're pushing it and we're risking exhaustion.
Yeah,
right.
Like I've got food covered, so we don't really need to worry about hunting. But like I'm not worried about Hugh. Hugh doesn't even care if he gets lost here because it's an adventure. He's more looking out for you guys. So if you guys want to push, yeah, sure, he would push up 1 hex further, but he's probably not going to suggest that by himself.
So you're simply going to walk, or are you going to try to explore the hexes?
Hugh's going to keep an eye out, but he's not going to... Actually, no, he is going to try and explore, because we need to look for clues as to where this person may have gone.
I mean, we know they did start here.
But where did they end up is the better question.
Exactly.
Right. And the most expedient way might be to ask the locals about their local area than to do it all entirely ourselves.
So,
but we don't know until we get there.
Not really, because we may have to worry about customs and language.
Customs, language, the fact that they're goblins.
Yep.
Yeah, because it's terrain for you, special terrain. It's 1 day. It applies. It shouldn't be 2 days, but so take you if you're exploring, it'll basically take you 1 day per hex.
Yeah, no, I think that's what we're gonna do, unless like he's told to expedite. We'll go into this one.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
What does the random generator create?
Okay. Roll your both investigation and your survival.
Absolutely. Do I need to worry about stealth as well? Because Hugh is intending to move as silently as possible.
How far ahead are you of the rest of the party?
Stick with the party.
He's sticking with. He's sticking with.
Then
survival.
The stealth is not going to work because
got it.
Gar has a platoon of people behind him. So yeah.
And investigation. Those are mine.
Oh, we all rolling?
Yep. Bird comes in for the assist.
Yeah, my investigation's shit. My survival shit. There you go.
I don't even bother rolling survival.
An interesting set of rolls considering the bonuses.
Three of us have familiars. Most of the rolls are advantage. Yeah.
Yep.
And they're all birds.
Birds
actually,
are the best.
Only one person would be missing advantage because I can give advantage to an additional person with my animal companion.
Mm-hmm.
So you hear this before you can see it. You hear a loud buzzing. You hear like a few of them.
The bees.
I think it's the murder.
Because you have your survival. What's the highest survival was 16. Hugh, you hear this first, and it's flying over the canopy. You have time to warn everybody to take cover.
Yep,
before,
I do so.
You know. So let's see. Everybody make a stealth check.
Let's do it.
They can't see me.
0.
18.
Are you using your own animal companion?
If you don't have
I have proficiency, but...
No. So if you don't have advantage, one other person can claim advantage from me, and whoever does, I will give just that's who's consistently getting it. So if you want it, my familiar will be helping you.
Yeah, sure. Cause, I mean, Loyal has like a +9 or something, right?
I have a +8 for stealth, and I rolled a crit, so I think I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I got an 18, and then
Okay.
Barricat's a 23.
We're good. And
Ooh,
Kix gets a 9, even with advantage.
Oh, this is clearly just like a forest, you know, with all these bright plants and everything. Like that's just like a forest.
It's just like a forest, but thicker.
And filled with disease.
Yep.
Okay, so we're over here.
This side of the map, and you hear increasing buzzing, very loud buzzing.
Q will be here.
Those who are not stealthy are on the trail. Everyone else has a chance to, Kix got an 8, so he's in the middle of the trail.
Yeah.
You're not surprised because,
Forewarned.
you were forewarned, but yeah, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. So let me put the things.
Luckily, we have a very perceptive kobold.
Actually, these wasps are somewhat bigger.
Yep.
because
the murder hornets.
Yeah.
These wasps are not. They're not alone. They have riders.
Ooh.
Well, that's just illegal.
They have goblins. I'm gonna put the goblins here. This is a tad too big. Oh, there you go.
Goblin wasp riders. Hell yeah.
That's kind of cool. Usually I go with like like spider riders, but wasp riders is even better.
This is definitely like some secluded island evolution shit right here.
Eventually they get... So each wasp has a goblin rider. So let me run. I'm gonna roll for the goblins, basically, because they're the riders. So we just click on one of the gobbles. They go on 9. Yeah, these gobbles are not gonna last.
Not very long.
Do we need to roll initiative?
Yes, please. Everybody has to roll initiative. Those who beat let's see, the gobos got a higher than a 9 in their perception. A 10, sorry. In their stealth rolls, get to act first. And then everyone else has to act in the initiative. So let's put the initiative in the proper order. Leo, you see these wasps flying across the canopy, and then they see this group of people in the trail. They're gonna descend to attack, and you see the gobbles have like spears, and someone says, "But they're gonna attack." So you can go first.
Oh, this is it's a good thing I actually do have a ranged move here. I pull out some darts, and I'm just gonna start chucking them at the nearest goblin.
Okay.
So I guess I got to attack 2 dart throws, and then we can just go from there.
No, that's it. That actually is goblin, classic goblin, DMD goblin, reprek. It's a phrase that all goblins say. They used to anyway.
15 and 14.
Which goblin are you attacking?
From where I am, I guess it would be the one that is the closest to me. So
these 2.
Yeah, we'll go with that guy.
You're attacking the goblin, not
yeah, I'm trying to hit the goblin itself, not the wasp.
Okay, so you hit once.
I hit once. Alrighty.
Actually, no, you have advantage because they don't see you. So yeah. You
okay. All right, so that's 2 hits. So damage.
Damage.
19 to the goblin.
Yeah, it basically one couple of darts, like it goes like and it falls a good 10 feet and just hits the ground dead. And the wasp, seeing that this rider is dead, sort of flies off. Right. They're not that smart.
Yeah.
Like,
I thinned out their numbers.
Barakat.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Can I do this in range? If I go. That 10-foot radius should hit both of those, right?
Do you want to aim for, so you might, no, because the goblins are on the wasps, so yeah.
I imagine they're just like on the center.
Yeah.
For grid representation.
Yep.
So I'm gonna cast Shatter right there.
Oh, that's.
I'm gonna make the saving throws for the wasp, because if they fail.
Yeah. Seems like they did.
Yes, they did. They're not dead, but they got choken up. So the gobbles will have to. Oh well, the gobbles actually are.
Well, The goblins also have to make the save.
Yeah, they also have to make the saving throw. One made it.
Nat 20, okay.
So this gobble
so
falls to his
11.
This gobble falls to his death. And this
Cool.
wasp, and the thing is that the wasps are flying in the same general direction. They're not spreading out. They seem to know where they're going, right? And this one actually, so it's 11, so it's 5. Yeah, this gobble is still alive.
Okay.
But very, very hurt.
Yep.
The goblins.
Yeah, that's my turn.
They see kicks. They see this massive people, so the wasp move in. Actually, they can actually see the people who are stealth. So they're gonna attack Leo, and they're gonna attack a random one of these things. The wasp actually doesn't go melee. The wasp will actually shoot his stinger at range.
Oh,
okay.
And to be clear, I'm still ambushed and I don't have a reaction, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so I can't shield the skeleton.
By the way, the I'm using the melee attack, but it's this one is range.
Mhm.
So that's a hit to one of the skeletons, the closest one, and the gobble also has a short bow, so I believe that's a miss. It only does 8 piercing damage because to this skeleton right here, because they're immune to poison. And the same thing happens here. The giant wasp shoots a sting at Lale.
That's
misses. And the gobble fires a short bow. Also misses. They're about 10 feet in the air, so they're shooting. And you see that they shoot the thing, and sort of the another stinger sort of comes out. These are not just a moment.
God, they can reload. What sort of hell is this?
Jungle hell.
A biological machine gun.
All right, he said what the ocean was. What was the name of it again?
What? A weapon to surpass Metal Gear.
I don't remember what the ocean was.
No clue.
Okay. I will be right back. I gotta go quickly check something. When he comes back,
a moment?
On my turn, just if I'm not back, I'm doing a nature check to see if I can tell if the wasps are flying. Perfect.
Okay.
I would like to do a nature check. I wanted to see where the wasps are going to, if they're going back to the goblins or if they're flying to a hive.
You don't have enough information to make a check from here. That they just generally they're flying to a specific direction, but you don't have any clues to.
Okay, that's fine.
To tell the difference.
Longbow to a goblin, one that was already hurt.
Okay, so it'll be this one then. Yeah, that's a hit.
10 piercing.
Yeah, it's dead. Also, it's dead. And again, the wasp sees that it moved, so it actually started moving then as well. Kicks. Actually, Kicks is surprised.
Yep, now I'm not surprised, and I'll be able to shield someone next turn.
Yeah, and Gar wasn't surprised, I believe, so Gar can actually do something. But let's see what. Let's go back to what
Gar was.
So yeah, so we start from the beginning. Leo. Yeah. The wasp is about 10 feet, so it's not in range. So you have an advantage. You have to make a range attack to get him.
Yeah, I was gonna
jump in a tree or something and climb on top of it.
That's actually what I was about to ask. Can I use like an acrobatics to jump up and just kick it in the face?
Do you have a climbing speed?
How would I look that up? What would that?
No. What's your normal speed?
50.
50. Yeah, 25 feet. Yeah, they're 10 feet up, so you can climb it. You have to make an athletics or acrobatics to climb the tree and jump on its back.
That's actually what I'm going to do. Acrobatics, climb up a tree, acrobatics to try and jump on the back of the wasp right now. Mm-hmm.
Go for it.
18?
Yeah. The wasp is trying to fight you, right?
That's fine.
The buzzing. But yeah, you're top of the wasp. And in fact, you see that the wasp has a little seat, which is too small for you, but it's goblin size. and actually has like ropes that go to the antenna of the wasp, and across the mandibles as well.
These are actually well trained mounts then, so they use that. They probably use those reins to control it. Yeah. So now who's the wasp rider? I guess that's my turn then.
There's enough in the thorax, space in the thorax for the seat. So yeah, the wings are there, but yeah.
So I'm barely on top of this thing with my one hand, just trying to hold the reins, I guess.
Yeah. Barakat.
Back to me. Has this other goblin been injured yet?
This one? No.
Okay. Let's see, who's after me? The actual goblin? Alright, I'm just gonna... Dissonant Whispers him, I guess? And hope it just straight up kills him. Nope. The lowest possible... Second lowest possible damage roll.
So the goblin...
He does have to make the save or run away, though.
Wisdom save, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he failed. So he's gonna run away, basically, in his turn.
Yeah. Reaction. Well, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the reaction is gonna give orders to the wasp, and they're gonna try to fly as fast as possible. So the wasp has a fly speed of 50 feet. They're gonna fly 100 feet, and yeah, they're gonna be out of the map. Let me see how far they can actually go. Yeah, they fly out of the map. Basically, you lose them in the foliage. So, yeah.
Out of curiosity.
And they seem to be going in the same direction as the other two. So now you can make a nature check.
Instead of a nature check, can I shoot the goblin?
They move out of range.
I have a 120-foot range. If I move closer, I should be technically within range.
Yes, but they're out of the map, and as a rule of Rule 20 is that once you're out of the map, that this swap is going to try to swat you out.
In that case, I will do that nature check. I got a 16.
Yeah, based on the fact that both Goblin and Wasp Rider are going that direction, it has to be some kind of operating basis, not just their nest. So it's going to make a dex save to sort of slam you against a tree. And it failed. It's moving away with you, trying to follow where the others are going, but sort of... So he makes it up to here, to this tree. He tries to scrape you off, but yeah. You're on the back, so this you have branches slapping in the face. You're like, but yeah, and it's also climbing up as well. So now you're at 20 feet.
I see where this is going.
Yeah. Hugh, there's one wasp that is trying to escape with Leo on its back.
All right. Well, if that's the case. Again, Hugh is slowly realizing Bark Skin is a useless spell to put on Barakat.
Unless I'm in immediate danger.
Exactly. So he is going to Hunter's Mark this wasp. And then he is going to shoot.
These are gone as well. They flew off. Oh, yeah, it's a hit.
For 12 points of damage.
It's dead. Leo, roll 2d6.
Can I do like a save to maybe not fall to my death?
You can do acrobatics for half damage.
He also has the monk thing, right?
I think I do.
Yeah, if it's something
where
slow fall.
Yeah, slow fall.
If you have slow fall, then yeah.
If you have slow fall,
falling damage equal to
I have that
5
actually.
times your monk level.
Yeah.
All right. So what do I do? Roll 2d6 still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On 2d6, you can't take damage from the fall.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so I just jump and I tumble.
Yeah,
and I use my arm to wipe some leaves off my stump or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
On my chest.
And you sort of, you manage, you still crash through the, foliage, and you hear like, but you fall gracefully, like, that looked better than it should have. Yes.
Good shot.
So the wasp are gone.
The wasp that's in front of me is dead. Can we inspect it to see anything on it or anything like that?
Aside from the seat that it had on it, it's, and it had a little, like a bag for arrows, for short arrows for short, but like it has like 5 or 6 of them.
I take those arrows and I give them to Hugh.
Hell yeah.
Well, they're for short bows, so yeah, they're the same amount. So the D&D doesn't make a distinction between one or the other.
Yeah, I don't suppose they have to have any identifying marks or notes on them or anything like that. We wouldn't be so lucky, would we?
Well, you can make a history check, history check, because these are intelligent creatures.
While that check is being made, does this seat look like it would be able to fit, say, a panther-sized cat?
Yes.
And does it look heavy?
Somewhat heavy. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So Hugh would like to take the seat. I'm curious, how much would it weigh?
I don't know. It's a good 15 to 20 pounds.
Okay. 1 second. I'm going to see if he can carry it without feeling any ill side effects. Let's go with 20 just to be safe. Oh, yeah. So Hugh is now carrying this around with him on his back over his stuff to put over his cat when he transforms to give him an easier time riding.
Okay.
He'll grow into it. Literally.
Okay.
And I'm still underweight.
Well, the thing is that this is big enough that your cat is will be under it, and
that's what I mean.
It would fall off. It would fall off. You have to. It's a harness. You have to put it on.
Oh, perfect. It's perfect. That's fine. It's
too big for her as a kitty cat, and as she grows up, it would just sort of fall off over. The thing about seatings like this is that you have, like in a horse, you have to adjust it. It's not. Imagine if you had a pony and it grew up into a Clydesdale, either the seat would break or it would just fall off. So
Yep, that's not a problem. He's still keeping it for that purpose, though.
You can put it on when she's full size, but yeah. So on that 21, you realize that these goblins, their coloration, etc., they're very common. Probably has a. In fact, on the shoulder, it has an imprint of 3 fingers, like in blood. That sounds like one of the goblin tribes from the Pomarch. But they're also they have the leather armor and stuff like that, and they have feathers from the tropical birds that you saw, like many colorful feathers and stuff like that. So it's a mixture of styles that goblins might use from the Pomarch and natural, things that they use here, right?
Right.
Feathers
and how closely related would these goblins be to the ones that we tend to fight? Very far related. Very close.
Very.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So we're basically not even the same region, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
While I'm doing these checks, I will my cat will get larger, and I will strap the saddle to him, and I'll just start riding on the cat. We're not going to be stealthy. We have these skeletons.
So they are having
they're fingers, not arrows. They're like somebody took like 3 fingers and yeah. It would be cool. Yeah, 3 arrows. I get that. I get the reference. Yeah.
All right. So, but
3 bloody fingers.
They did run off in that direction. I would assume that their local base, tower, maybe even their city would be in that direction.
Yep. Now, I think that's the direction we head. But if anything, I think we have to kind of maneuver around.
Well, they will be looking for whoever just took it down, and they know our numbers now.
Oh, they know exactly where we are.